Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Pilates. Let's hope everybody's feeling fit and well. Throughout the class I will show you different exercises with different levels to each exercise. Please just work at your own level and just always think about your Pilates principles throughout. So let's just get started. We're going to start with the feet hip distance apart. So the feet are directly below the hip bones. Ground through the big toe, baby toe and heel. And we're just going to start off with the body's alignment. So we want to keep the legs nice and strong. Scoop the abdominals in and up towards the rib cage. And you want to keep the rib cage and the hips connected throughout, stabilizing through the pelvis and the ribs. Shoulders are wide, collarbone is wide, shoulders are down and away from the ears. Let's just start circling the shoulders. We'll just start off with a little bit of mobility standing, and then we'll get down into the mat. The pelvic floor is engaged as if you're stopping yourself from passing wind and passing water. Chin is parallel to the floor. Change direction with those shoulders. And take the hands and place them on the back of the head. Elbows are nice and wide, and we're just going to start to tilt from side to side. Exhaling to tilt. Inhale, come back to center. We elongate the spine and come back. And put on the opposite side. We want to imagine here that we're in between two invisible panes of glass. So we don't want to rock the shoulder forward or back. The abdominals stay braced. Moving to your own range of motion. And come back to center. Bring the hands to the hips, mobilizing through the hips. So we want both hip bones in line. We're going to keep the leg as straight as you can and lift the hip towards the rib and drop it down. Change sides. So you're going to feel your pelvis tilt from side to side. You want to try and keep the shoulders still. Chin is parallel to the floor. So we're working on isolating the pelvis. Making you more aware of your body and how it moves. And then drop the hips. We're going to take a little step wide. Turn the toes out into Plie Squats. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. You want to imagine you're sliding your back up and down an imaginary wall so the shoulders stay in line with the hips. We try not to hinge forward through the hips as we bend the knees. Exhale, stand tall. Inhale. Exhale. Now take the hands and place them on the hips. Inhale, bend down. And stand tall. This time we're going to add a little tilt to the side. And back to center. Opposite side. Again, rib cage to hips. Stand tall. Inhale. Exhale, float down. Ribs to hips and center. Abdominals stay tight. Drive those knees wide. Back to center. And bring it back up. Bring the feet together. Heels together. Turn the toes out. Again, hands on the hips. Hips are directly in line with the shoulders. We inhale, bend the knees. Again, we've got that imaginary wall behind us. We don't want to hinge the hips forward. Inhale. And exhale. Breathe in, drop down. Exhale. Feeling those calves working? Exhale. Stay with this, or harder option, we bend the knees. We lift the heels, we ground through those big toes. Drop the heels and stand. Take the hands in front if you want to. A little bit of counterbalance. Drop. We want to feel those quads starting to get warm, abdominals tight, pelvic floor engaged. Drop the heels and stand tall. Harder option. We come up onto our toes. We bend the knees. We bring it all the way down. Squeeze those glutes, inner thighs, and start to push all the way back up. Stay on the toes. Pushing through that big toe, keep the big toe down. Engage those inner thighs, drive the knees wide. Control, breathe out, lift up. Let's do one more, keep it super slow. Inhale, lift onto the toes. Exhale, slowly come down. Bend those knees. Taking it at your own pace. Inhale, hold. Exhale, squeeze those glutes, engage the inner thighs. And slowly, come all the way back. Raise the arms. Can we stay on the toes? Float the arms down. Push through those big toes. Inhale. Drop the heels. And bring the hands down. Circle. Let's come to the side, onto side view. We're going to step forward on one foot and bring the knee to the floor. Okay, so we're going to start off shoulders in line with the hips. Knees, hips and ankles in line. And we're going to just hinge forward and then back to the center so that the shoulders are in line with the hips and the knees. Hinge forward and back. Get a little bit of stretch into the hip flexor on the front of this hip. Inhale, float forward. We can add an arm if we wish. Just remember that your ribs and hips stay connected as you extend the arm. Ideally, we want the arms long, biceps in line with the ears. And if you want to, you can bring your chest towards the knee and back up. Exhale, float forward. Inhale, back up. Last one. Bring the arms in front. Wrists are in line with the shoulders. We inhale through the nose, keep the hips grounded. And we start to open the arm all the way through. It'll be the same arm, but the front leg is forward. Keep those hips grounded. Exhale, open. Keep your eyes on that moving arm. Shoulder and wrists stay in line. Keep the abdominals braced, slowly close. And float the arms down. Bring that foot down, change legs. Knee and ankle in line, hips, knees in line at the back leg. We start to hinge forward and back, driving through that front foot. You want to get a stretch all the way down through the hip flexor. Extend the arms if you wish, but don't flare the ribs. And we start to hinge forward, reach. Bringing the chest as close to the knees as you can. Reaching out through the fingertips. We think about length throughout, elongating through the crown of the head and out through the tailbone. Bring it all the way forward. We start to float that arm through. Keeping your eye on that thumb as it moves through. Brace the abdominals. That back leg is nice and strong. Keeping you grounded to the floor. Exhale, open. And close. And float the arms down. Coming into your 4-point knee. Our wrists are directly below the shoulders. We're coming into that nice neutral spine. The spine is long. You want to imagine that you could hold a tray of drinks on your lower back. So we don't want to arch, tuck the tailbone under or extend it in the opposite direction. Abdominals are braced, ribs are connected to the hips. We are going to extend the left leg. Draw the abdominals tight. We have done this before. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. We're thinking about length rather than height. We want to lengthen out of the crown. Harder option. We lift and hold. We take the right hand and salute the floor. We want to then drop the elbow to the floor and then bring it back to your start position. Drop that elbow down, brace those abdominals. Inhale, tap down. Exhale, lift back up. Just keep your gaze looking towards the floor. Neck is long, 2 more. We want to keep both hips still. Last one. Bring the hand to the floor. Draw that knee back in. Bring it right below the hip. And extend the right leg. Exhale, lift and lengthen. Squeeze that glute. Lift and lower. Exhale. Inhale. Stay with this. Or harder option. We lift that left hand. We tap the elbow to the floor. And then bring it back around. 4 more. Extending out it. So you're thinking about lots of things. Extending out of that leg. Shoulders are strong. Rib cage connected to the hips. Abdominals braced, pelvic floor braced. Last one. Float the leg down and to the floor. Take the feet together, knees apart, and bring the tailbone to meet the heels. If you can, bring the forehead close to the floor, extending the arms, have a little rest, stretching through those glutes. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And come back up. So this time we're coming down. We're going to stay on all fours actually. We're going to keep the wrists directly underneath the shoulders and we're going to do a little tricep push-up. So easier option, we're going to extend the right leg. We want to scoop those abdominals nice and tight. Now as you bring your body weight forward, you want to bring your elbows to your ribs and then push back up. So we inhale to float towards the floor, exhale to lift. Try and make sure that you don't bring your elbows wide. So the body weight floats forward and we push back up. Exhale. Easier option. We just want to bring our body weight forward and back. If this hurts your wrists, just leave this exercise out. So you choose your option. Couple more. Last one. Changing legs. Extend the left leg. Brace the abdominals. Inhale to float down, exhale to float back up. Neck is nice and long. Extending out of the toes. Let's do one more here. And bring it back in. Let's bring the elbows to the floor for a rotating plank. Option 1. We're going to stay on the fleshy part of the knees. Collarbone is wide, shoulders spread. And we want to just tilt one hip to the floor as we lift the opposite hip to the ceiling. Back to center and drop. So you feel this into the obliques, rotating through the spine. Harder option, we come up onto the toes, drive the heels in the opposite direction of the head. And we want to rotate through the feet to drop your hips to the floor and back in. Long, slow, controlled breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Center. Float all the way back to the floor. For swimming, let's extend the arms and the legs. Pull the belly up away from the mat. And we're going to start off with the legs. So we want to extend the right leg, squeeze the glute and lift. Glide it down lower. Exhale, lift. You can place your hands below your head if you need to, or a little pillow if you have one. Abdominals braced, pelvic floor engaged. Lengthening out of the toes. Now exhale, lift. Keep that leg long and we want to draw a circle. The circle comes from the hip socket. Change direction. Keep long, long length through that leg. Bring it back to center, drop that leg. Extend the left leg, lift it. Keep the hips down. Circle that leg. Movement comes from the hip socket. Again, if you find it on your tummy that your lower back hurts, place a little something below the hips. Change direction. Float that leg back down. And have a little rest. So swimming, we are going to this time extend the right arm and place it back on the floor. The spine is long. We're extending out of the crown of the head. You can keep the head hovering off the floor this time. Try and strengthen through the neck. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. We lift opposite arm, opposite leg. And replace. Rib-hip connection is our focus. Exhale, lift and lengthen. We extend out of the toe and out of the fingers. Harder option, we begin to speed it up. This will get the heart rate up a little bit, or we can lift everything up with the mat and flutter for 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything back to the floor. Lift the arms. Bring the elbows towards the ribs. Extend them out. Circle them round. Elbows to ribs. Palms are down. Challenging the shoulders. This is option 1. Option 2. We can lift the legs and flutter the legs. For 8, 7, 6, squeezing those glutes, lengthen those legs. I've lost count. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the hands to the floor. Who wants a little back stretch? Lift into Cobra. Extend the crown of the head to the ceiling. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. We're going to lift the tailbone. Place it towards the heels. Keep it around the back. Inhale. Float forward. Drop those hips once again. Drop the shoulders from the ears. Lift the crown of the head. And then slowly, with control, restack the vertebra back on the floor. Breathe in. Exhale. From the crown of the head we lift. Slow and controlled. Extend as long as you can through the spine. Hips stay down. Lift the tailbone. Brace the abdominals. Bring the tailbone to the heels. And then bring it back to the tummy. Drop the hips to the floor. And slowly curl the spine all the way back down. Okay, onto the back. Let's go for a little series of ab work. So we're going to start off with the Pilates 100. Starting off, option one, I'll demonstrate the exercise and then we'll do it all together. So collarbone wide, hips in line with shoulders. Option one, knees are bent. I'm going to keep my hands out of the way just so you can see. So in fact, we start off pumping the arms. We want the arms nice and strong. Now we want to keep moving through the upper body with the arms, but we want to keep stability through the shoulders and the hips. So we breathe in for 5 as we pump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Inhale for 5, exhale for 5. Changing the leg position is going to challenge the exercise a little bit more. Into tabletop. You want to lengthen out of the tailbone and out of the crown of the head. So we breathe in for 5, out for 5. Harder option still, we lengthen the legs. Turn the toes out, bring the heels together. 45-degree angle is going to really challenge those lower abs. You choose your option, head and shoulders off the mat. Belly button in, rib cage to hips. We're going to start the 100 now. Let's go for in, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. In. In through the nose, out through pursed lips. I have actually lost count. We'll do 2 more breaths. In through your nose and out. Breathing in and out. Slowly hug the knees to the chest and make a little circle with those knees. That'll get the heart rate up a little bit. Rest the head back on the floor. Toe taps. If you're a beginner, we're going to stay in this position with our feet grounded to the floor. You can place the palm of your hand on the hip bones and you want to just keep the knees at 90 degrees. Brace the abdominals. Pull the rib cage to the hips. We don't want the hips to move up and down. We want to keep stability through the hips. The abdominals stay braced. Harder option. We begin the exercise in tabletop. Knees in line with the hips. Knees, shins are parallel to the ceiling. We want to keep the 90-degree angle with the knee as we tap the knee to the floor on the exhale. This is a little exercise just to try and challenge the rib-hip connection. The lower back wants to feel quite heavy onto the floor. And just relax the arms. You can take them out to the side if you wish. Neck is long. If you find in this position that you're uncomfortable, your neck is uncomfortable, you can place a little pillow below your head so that you get that nice long line throughout. Harder option once again. Engage those inner thighs. We drop both legs together and back up. This is a lot more challenging. You want to imagine you've got a little cushion between your knees. If you have a little cushion handy, place it in there so it engages those inner thighs so that it helps to work into the transverse abdominis a little bit deeper. Last one. Float back in and hug the knees. Circle the knees. Little Pilates favourite, single leg stretch. So we extend both legs towards the ceiling. We hug one knee into the chest. You want to take the inside hand towards the inner thigh and the outside to the outer thigh. And we switch legs. So we're stretching into that glute as we elongate that leg towards the ceiling. Head down or head up. We're going to go for 10. So we inhale for 2 moves and exhale for 2 moves. We can extend that leg to 90 degrees to challenge the lower abs a little bit more. Inhale, exhale. And we want to stretch out through those legs as we extend in, 2 more. Releasing the abdominals and hug the knees in. Next exercise is double leg stretch. If you want to do the single leg stretch again, that is fine. For the double leg stretch, we brace the abdominals. Shoulders are wide, collarbone is wide. We extend the arms and the legs. Circle the arms and catch the shins back in. Exhale. Inhale, float the arms round and back in. Exhale. The lower the legs, the harder it is in the abdominals. We want to try and aim for the same angle through the arms and the legs. So we're hollowing through those abs. 4 more. 3. Exhale. Inhale. 2. And last one. Hug those knees in once again. Just rock the knees from side to side. One of my favourites. We're going to take both legs long. We're going to really stretch out those hamstrings. We're going to take one leg. Hold on to that leg. You can hold on to it here if that's easier. You're going to extend the leg along the wall. Along the wall? Extend the leg away. Easier option, keep the head and shoulders down. And we're going to switch legs. And switch with a little pulse. Inhale. Exhale. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Keep the hips still. Keep the shoulders still. 3 more. 2. And last one. Hug those knees in. Double leg lower. Very similar to what, very difficult exercise. Similar to the toe taps, but this time we keep the legs long. If you want to, you can place your hands below your hips, just so that it takes a little bit of weight out of the pelvis. Draw the belly button in. Pilates stance, we take the heels together, toes apart, and we slowly start to lower the legs towards the floor. Brace those abdominals and slide back up. Now if this is too challenging, stick with bent knees and do the double leg toe tap. Head and shoulders off the mat if you wish. We exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. 4 more. Exhale. Inhale, lift. And lift. 2 more. Last one. And bring it back in. Bend those knees. Rest the feet back on the floor. Take the arms into a T position. Keep the knees together, so we really want to engage those inner thighs, and drop the knees to one side. Use those obliques. Shoulder blades stay down. Don't worry if you can't get your knees all the way to the floor. Engage the inner thighs, abdominals braced, come back up to center. Collarbone is wide. Exhale. Draw those knees together. Inhale, center. Exhale, float the knees all the way down. We can make this a little bit more challenging by extending the arms. Keeping the shoulder blades actually still on the floor, but the shoulders can be lifted. Biceps in line with the ears. Keep the rib cage connected to the hips. And back to center. Lower the head. Let's float ourselves round onto our side. For the oyster, we want to bend the knees, keep our heels in line with our bottom, shoulders stacked, hips stacked, belly button tight. We open the knees, but we keep the hip still. So just have a little look at your body and make sure that you're not rolling back with that hip. You need to place the hand on that top hip. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. We can add a little bit of a challenge to this by bringing the foot off the floor. Open and close. And you're squeezing those inner thighs as you close, and engage the glutes as you open. Harder option, extend the leg. Stretch it out. Bring it back in. Tap it down. 4 more. Abdominals stay braced. 2 more. And last one. And close. Come all the way down to the floor. We're going to extend the arms out in front and the legs out in front. We're going to lift the leg with the foot flexed and draw a circle. Scoop those abdominals. Easier option. Bend the knee. Make smaller circles. Now, let's try and add the arm without moving through the shoulders. So it's as if the hand and the foot are connected. The abdominals are braced. Change direction. Synchronizing the arm and the leg together. Last one. And release. Bend the knees. Side bend. I'm rushing through these because I want to get as many exercises in as I can. Side bend. So we want to think about the rib cage being nice and long in most of our exercises through Pilates. We want to drive the rib cage to the floor. So where the ribs and the hips connect here. Reaching up towards the ceiling as if you're being pulled up by the ribs. We want to lift and feel that curl through the spine. Drop the rib cage. I'll show you a few options here and you can choose which option you want to use. Okay, we can extend the top leg for a harder option. And lift. Keeping again in between that pane of glass so the bicep stays in line with the ear. And drop down. Let's hope you have plenty of room. Exhale. Harder option. Top leg in front of the bottom leg. Hand is grounded to the floor. As you push through the feet, you lift the hips towards the ceiling, getting into that side bend. Drop it down. Exhale. Lift those hips as high as you can. Exhale. Let's do one more. You keep it your own level and float it back down. Skip it all the way round. And let's repeat on the other side, starting off with our oyster. Shoulders stacked, hips stacked, knees and ankles stacked. Your feet are in line with your bottom. Just have a little check and make sure everything is in the right place. Harder option, lift the feet off the floor. Exhale to open, inhale to close. We squeeze those glutes as tight as we can. Open and lengthen the leg if you wish. Otherwise, just stay with the open and close of the legs. Last one. Extend and lower. Bring the knees together. Take those legs in front. Take the arms in front. Flex the foot. We start to draw circles with those legs. Keep the hips stacked. Controlling out of that hip socket. Then we add the arm to move in unison with the legs. Scoop those abdominals nice and tight. Bring it back to center and change direction. Foot is flexed, so you're driving that heel away from the hips. And the last one. We'll bring it back in. Bend the knees for side bend. Onto the elbow, elbow in line with the shoulder. Drop the rib cage to the floor, bringing the rib cage to the hip on that top side, and lift. Lengthening through the spine as you push the hip away, and bring shoulders back in line with each other. Harder option. We extend the top leg and we lift the hip off the floor. Come back to center. Always elongate, realign the spine, pelvis and shoulders as you come back to center. Harder option. Top leg in front. We want both feet staggered, one in front of the other. And then we push through the hips and lift tall. In through the nose. Exhale. Bring the tailbone to the heels and push through. Couple more. And last one. Float back down. And come to the floor. Sitting up nice and tall, we want a nice long spine, sit bones on the floor, shoulders in line with the hips. Place the hands either on the shins or underneath the thighs. We're going to come into our C curl. So we want to make this C shape with the spine, brace the abdominals. Your tailbone is going to tuck under as you start to curl the spine and roll back. Exhale and roll back up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, roll back. If you have the strength, you can take the hands away and curl and roll. Spine comes back to the nice long position. Roll the spine back as you inhale and come into your C curl. You will notice that your pelvis starts to roll onto the floor and you roll back up. Keep the hold of those legs if you need to. Scoop the belly and roll back up. Inhale. At this time, we're going to bring the hands into the chest. And roll back up, extend the arms. Inhale. I'm going to keep progressing this exercise and you just work to whatever level you wish. We can start to walk the feet further away from the bottom. Inhale, float back. We're going to take the arms wide, open the chest, bring the arms in and float through. Inhale. You're going to feel those abs on fire. Inhale. I'm going to add on, we roll back, hands to chest, sternum is wide, exhale, reach and lengthen. This time take the hands as you come back up and place the hands together. Reach those arms towards the ceiling, squeeze those shoulder blades, drop and bring it back in. Inhale, float back. You choose which part of this exercise you want to stay with. Come back tall, lengthen and come through. Harder option, the legs are long. We inhale, scoot back. Open the arms wide. Slowly hinge from the hips and bring the chest towards the knees. Take the hands together and lengthen those fingers to the ceiling. Sit tall and circle, rolling back. Circle those arms through. Lengthen the spine and sit back tall. Let's come onto the knees. Just do a wee mobilization to finish. So we're going to take the hands in front. If you need to place the hands on the floor, you're going to lift the hips, and if you can, place the bottom cheek onto the floor. Use the hands again, come up and sit to the opposite side. If you can do it without hands, we just lift and rotate the shoulders to the opposite sides of the room. One more each side. Squeeze the inner thighs. Lift tall. And come back to center. Thank you very much, ladies and gents. Let's hope you worked up a little bit of a sweat, a wee bit more difficult than it was the other day. Thank you for joining me. Keep up the good work.